Despite the dust not really settled yet on the season that we've just had, the new fixtures are already out now for the next one. So it's quite, I mean, I love when the fixtures come out because it just gives you something to look forward to. It's a bit of excitement for next season. And you start dreaming, don't you? And so looking forward to it. So yeah, I just want to quickly go over our fixtures. I have been away. I've been away on holiday for a week. And so hence why I haven't really been on the channel. I really want to say a big thank you to Riley, actually, who's been managing it while I've been away. So thanks for that. And of course, I mean, I haven't talked about the amazing night in Prague. I still can't believe it. Honestly, I'm so buzzing. We've got a tough summer ahead, West Ham. Lots of changes. We've got the Declan Rice situation. Let's be honest, it's a painful one, this Rice thing. There are times where I do get a bit upset when you sort of read things too much. And sometimes I try and switch off from it, to be honest. But I'll tell you what I love is every time you feel a little bit down or a little bit, this is going to hurt, all you need to do is just go back, cast your mind back to Prague, just remember, and then look at the videos, look at that Bowen goal, and it just elevates the mood because this is a really special moment. I'm absolutely buzzing, and it's going to take a long time to come down from this cloud. It really is. European champions. What a night. So it's great to be back. Fixtures then. I mean, I've got to be honest. I'm pretty pleased with the fixtures this year. I'm looking at it with a lot of optimism. We usually, as we know, we typically get a tough first game of the season, which usually means we end up getting nothing from. And it's just horrible, isn't it? To start a season when you're bottom of the league, straight away. Let's be honest, that's what happened last season. We lost our first two games. It was Man City at home, followed by Forest away. And we lost both games. And that just set the tone for the season. It really did. And we had a very tough season. Let's not forget that. I'm a bit more optimistic this season. I am. We're going to do lots more videos on transfers and all these things, and David Moyes and Director of Footballs. We're going to be doing that. In fact, we've got a Director of Football one later, which will be out later this evening. But in terms of where we are right now, I'm optimistic, and that includes losing Declan. I'm looking at next season feeling pretty good about where I think the club's going. I'm pretty excited about the players I'm hearing that we're close to getting, or things are moving along in the right direction. So I'm getting quite optimistic. And then you look at the fixtures and you go, well, do you know what? That's not bad. My theory's always been, I'd like to know your thoughts on this. My theory has always been that the first 8 games tends to dictate where you're going to finish in the season. That usually gives you the inclination where you're going to be. Because effectively, that's 2 months of football. Has a big chunk of the season gone. And I always think, if basically what I'm saying is if you get decent results in your first 8 games and you're in the top 6, then it's unlikely you're going to be in a relegation battle. That's how I usually see it. You're probably going to be a top half club. If after the first 8 games you're in the relegation zone, it's likely that's where you're spending the rest of the season. You're going to be down the bottom. It's unlikely. All right, there's some exceptions. Aston Villa did very well last season and pulled away. But on the whole, that's usually what happens. So I always tend to do, my theories are look at the first 8 games and work out roughly where I think where things are going to end up. So let's just talk about that then. The first 8 games. First of all, I think the first 2 are winnable. Very winnable, actually. I don't know whether people agree with this, and I'm happy for people to disagree with me, but Bournemouth away, I find, is actually quite a favourable fixture for West Ham. We've had some good results there over the years. We handle that ground quite well. No disrespect to Bournemouth at all. I think they've done very well under Gary O'Neill. I get the feeling they might have another tough season. That on the outside, that's how I'm looking at it. I'll be surprised to see Bournemouth flying up the table next season. I really do. Don't get me wrong, it's a tough place to go. It's an away game. It's a Premier League game away. It's going to be tough. But I'm optimistic about that game. I actually look at that and think that's not a bad opening fixture for us. If we can go there with the right attitude and the right mindset, let's be honest, we're going to be excited. We're going to be in a good mood because of what's happened this summer in terms of at the end of the season where we've won the trophy. Everyone's in a very buoyant mood. I can't wait to get back to West Ham. So excited. Even though I'm looking forward, it's nice to have a bit of a breather, but ultimately I can't wait because I think there's going to be a bit of a carnival feel about everything at the moment. We're all thrilled. I mean, some of the chants are already, you're hearing to Spurs fans and whatnot about us winning a trophy. It's just, I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. But it's going to be a really good time for this club. And of course, we're going to have some new faces as well, hopefully, at the club, which I think are going to bring some excitement to the fans. So Bournemouth away, I'm quite pleased with. We then have Chelsea at home, our first home game since we've won the trophy. We're back. All the fans are back together in a competitive, proper match. It's a London derby against Chelsea. Pochettino as well. I mean, former Spurs manager. I get the feeling it's just written in the stars a little bit. I like that. Yeah, it's going. Hopefully, the weather is always going to be sunny. It's going to be an exciting one. I look at that and think that's a good fixture for us. I imagine that is going to be a good atmosphere. Chelsea are in for a massive rebuild this season. I'm not convinced of them. We're going to do a video prior to the season with some predictions and where we think things are going to stand. But I'll be just as my gut feeling is I don't see Chelsea suddenly becoming a top 4 side all of a sudden. I think there's a lot to do at that football club. A lot to do. I mean, they've been dire last season, so I'm optimistic about that. I think that's a good fixture, good couple of fixtures for us to kick off with. I mean, if we get a result against Bournemouth on the first game of the season, if we go there and get 3 points, I would expect us to beat Chelsea. I really would. I think we'll be so up for that. And that is what we want. If we can start the season with 6 points from our first 2 games, let's be honest, that is a really, really great way to start the season. It just gets the mood up. Everyone's excited. Everyone starts looking up. We do not want to be knocking that. So I'm pleased with that. Then we've got Brighton away. I mean, I'd love to say we're going to go and win that. It's Brighton. I mean, I've put us down for a point. By the way, I'm just going to tally up what I think is going to happen, okay? This is just what my predictions at the moment. I've got us down to win Bournemouth, win at Chelsea, against Chelsea even. And then Brighton, however, I've put us a draw for that. I don't see us getting 3 points. Then we've got Luton away. Now, Luton, because they're doing works at their stadium, I understand that that's their first home game of the season. So that's going to be a really tough place to go for their first home game, Luton. And obviously, it's typical West Ham will get that fixture. It'll be hard. I've got us down for a point there. I think we're capable of winning it, but I'll put us down for a point. We've then got Manchester City at home. It's a home game. You've always got to be a little bit more optimistic, but I've put us down not to get anything from that. Liverpool away, I've got nothing to get from that. It's Liverpool, always our place for us to go and get something. But I'm just being, this is just my first throw of the dice predictions. I'm not getting too hung up on them. They've got Sheffield United at home. I'd expect us to beat them. I really would. Newcastle at home, I'll put us down for a draw. I don't know where Newcastle are going to be sitting this season. I imagine they're going to be all right. I think they've had a very good season. They have had a very good season, but I don't know. It's a hard one to predict Newcastle. I'm not completely convinced they're going to have the same season. I think it could be a little bit tougher from this time round. I just got this feeling that might be the case. I've got us down for a draw at home, though. That's 12 points I've got there from the opening 8 games. Now, if West Ham can do that, if West Ham can achieve 12 points from the opening 8 games, and I look at those fixtures, I think we could do that. That's quite achievable. As I said, I've got us losing to City, losing to Liverpool, draws against Luton. We could go there and win. It could be better, but 12 points in the opening 8 games, I'll be well pleased with, because that would probably put us top half, 7th, 6th, something like that. I imagine we'd be in that kind of area. That's what I'd imagine. So I'd be well pleased with that. I'm really pleased. I really want to know what people think of those fixtures and what you think of my predictions. I did pick out some key games as well. So that's my sort of opening 8 games. Other key fixtures are, now the one that jumped out at me, and we know why this is jumping out at all of us, is Arsenal. Arsenal away. We're playing Arsenal away. It's the first time we're playing next season. If Rice is to go there, that is on Boxing Day. It would be Arsenal versus West Ham. I quite like the fact that we're not playing Arsenal till later on. I wouldn't have wanted to face Rice if he goes to Arsenal early. And that's if he goes to Arsenal. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen yet. Man City are about to show their hand again. We're doing videos on this all coming up, but this is what I'm hearing. But Arsenal, let's be honest, are the front runners. I like the fact we're not playing him until later on. Let's just say he goes to Arsenal. I'd rather him get into his season there. We get on with our business, and we don't have to face each other for a little while. The last thing we wanted was to face him straight away early on. It would just, especially if he'd have played and they'd won, it would just been awful. It'd be nice if by the time we play Arsenal, we're in a good position in the league. We're feeling confident and go. I want to be in our rhythm. I want to go to the Emirates in a good mindset, thinking we can go get a result there. So I'm pleased about that. The other one I've jotted down, it's a weird one because I know there's a break this season. There's a break between the end of the year to then, I think it's mid-January, it then kicks off. So our last game of the year before that break is Brighton at home. Oh, this has got to be the year, isn't it? This has got to be the bloody year West Ham get a win over Brighton. It's got to happen. I don't know what to expect of Brighton this year. I really don't. Again, I'm going to do a predictions video, but I don't know. Just got this feeling that sooner or later that bubble might burst for them a little bit. I just get this feeling. They've got European football as well, don't forget. Like, they would be in the Europa League with us. I just don't know. I get this feeling that their model is not going to continually work. I think it's risky to keep uncovering a gem, selling them on, uncover a gem, selling on, because eventually I get the fit. You get that moment where that might not work. You'll bring someone in for cheap. It hasn't worked. You can't sell them on, then suddenly you're in trouble. But let's be honest, Brighton's model has been so successful, so there's no reason to suggest it won't do again. But I don't know. This is something about next season. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'm not overly convinced, but hopefully this is the year that we actually get something and get a win over Brighton. It would be nice to put that hoodoo to bed. The one thing that has jumped out at me, though, the one negative of this the fixture list is the final 4 games of the season. Now, I'm hoping, and I'm sure you'll join me on this, that when we're thinking of the final 4 games, or when it comes to that period, we're in a position where we're looking up, we're vying for a top 6 position or wherever. Hopefully, we're in that kind of realm, top 7 world. And then you look at our fixtures, the last 4 games, and we need to get some points. It's a little bit concerning. Liverpool at home, look, who knows? I don't know what we're going to get from Liverpool next season. I think they're going to be a lot better. That's my gut feeling. I actually think they're going to be challenging for the title. That's my gut feeling on that one. Chelsea away, again, who knows? Chelsea are very difficult to predict. I'm not convinced they're going to be as good as I've already said. I don't think they're going to be quite as, up the heights of achieving lots of things this season. I don't know. That's my gut feeling. We then got Luton at home. I don't think that's bad. That's not too bad for the second from last game. That's our final home game of the season, Luton. I mean, they could be relegated by then. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, they're a good side, Luton, nice little club. So who knows? But I'd like to think that by that point, their situation has been settled, whether they're staying up or going down, whatever. I fancy that. I think it's not a bad home game for us at all. And then we finish at Man City away. So who knows if that's going to be a good game? They might have won the league by then. It might not matter to them. Who knows? But they're the only thing that when I looked at that, I thought, if we needed results at the end to get secure European football, let's say, you look at that and think, oh, God, that's quite tough. We're going to have to really put out some good performances. But all in all, right, I'm actually quite pleased with that. I look at those fixtures and think, that's not bad, That's not bad. It's nice at last to look at the first couple of games and go, blimey, we can get 6 points out of them games. And I really do. I look at those fixtures and think we can get 6 points. We might get none. Chelsea might go to a flyer. Bournemouth will be really good, really tough. And they might nick it. Who knows? But I look at them and I genuinely think if we're on it, we can get 6 points out of those games. And who knows then? And we could have a really good season. But I'd love to know your thoughts on it. As I say, we're going to do a video later on the director of football situation, which I think is actually looking really quite exciting. Here we go. Already we're looking into a new football season. And I don't know about you, but I'm actually quite excited.